Hey there, all you fantastic treasures. Welcome on in to more Dungeons & Dragons online content. I know a lot of you guys are enjoying it, and I enjoy making it, although I don't often find myself giving myself the time to do it, because even though it's some of my most popular content on my channel, originally our series is meant to be with myself and my stepbrother, who sometimes you can hear. I know there have been audio issues with the both of us, or with, I guess, him specifically, but trying to get this all together, and I wanted to do some stuff on my own while he's doing stuff on his own, right? He's working and doing all that stuff, so it's hard for us to both find time to sit down together and do this, but I'm happy to still bring you guys these small little guides where I can, and then hopefully bring you forward. Now, still a free-to-play thing. This specific thing is not for favor. So if you are looking to get any favor from this video at all, you're probably not going to get it. The only favor you're doing is watching it, and I thank you for it. So please, if you enjoy all of this, or any part of it, make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel too. I like to try to make this content for you guys, and hopefully you all are enjoying it as much as I am. So today, we are at the harbor. So if you can tell over here, this is right where we are. And you'll probably notice where we are because of a previous video that we have done. We are at the Waterworks. So the Waterworks, what they are, is a... The Waterworks is a wilderness area. Now, I know in previous episodes I talked about wilderness areas and how they work. Generally, this is a great way for you to get some solid free experience points. I say free like you have to pay for experience points. You don't. But the work you have to do in here is not really that difficult, which is why I guess I consider it free. This is going to be kind of another one of the longer episodes, unless I can be able to kind of scrunch it down a little bit. But those wilderness areas, like I had said, we're essentially going to go into here, the Waterworks. You can only go in a normal. All wilderness areas are always on normal difficulty, so that is going to be the case for that. So the first thing you're going to want to do in here, right? I'm going to show you guys what this whole area entails, what you're going to need for it to complete it entirely, and the experience you can get out of it at the end of the day. So what we're looking at here is, you'll see over on this side, because we had also previously gone through it, I have some of these already set up. In most wilderness areas, you'll have like special areas as well. So there's usually 3 categories instead of just the 2. But there's no special place for you to find in here. It's just the rare encounters, which are named enemies. They're just special bosses that are random. And they show up. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. So it's all very random. And in here specifically, there are several areas in which some of them can be found, right? So again, the rare encounters are random, so if you don't get them the first try and you're trying to complete the rare encounters, because if you'll see here, you get 60 XP per encounter. Granted, I'm getting a lot less because I'm level 10 going back to this, so obviously try to do this around level 4 ish is probably the best way to do it. So that'll get you a decent amount of experience. But I get 60 experience per encounter, and the bonus for solving all encounters is 180. Now, that's going to be a lot more when you're actually, near its level, I think. But it's just a nice way for you to get some... So, yeah, you'll see the above max quest level and have an 80% penalty to XP. So, pretty high up there, but that's fine. So, those are the rare encounters for this. And there are 6 named enemies in here, and 2 of them are behind ability score runes. So you're gonna need to be specific if you're doing it solo. It's one of those times where if you look ahead or if you watch this guide, you'll know there are 2 runes that you'll need to get, which is an intelligence rune and a wisdom rune. Those 2 runes will help lead you to where you need to be. Another thing I also suggest having is maybe something or someone with search, or like a way to open or to find secret doors. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it on my own, but if I am able to, that would be pretty great. But let's see here. Go ahead and just put this back down here because I think I took it off. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. It's right there. I'm dumb. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go over the wisdom rune first. I think I might actually be able to do it, but let me just go check real quick what amount of stat you're going to need in order to open this one. Okay, so after doing some research, you're going to need a 14 wisdom, a minimum of a 14 wisdom to get the wisdom rune, and a 14 intelligence to get the intelligence rune. So as you'll see on my level 10 ranger, I do not have that, right? Obviously, if you are new to the game and you're doing a 28-point build, you're probably not going to have pretty well-rounded stats. As the game goes on, eventually people just start the game with like 20 in every one of these slots, just as you get like past lives and so on and so forth. But essentially, you may not be completely statted for this. So you are going to need to have some hirelings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my cleric hirelings so we can get into the wisdom room area. So they will hang out with me, and that'll pretty much be it. So other than the rare encounters, we also have slayers, right? Now slayers are pretty straightforward. It's just kill monsters. That's it. All you do. You can also tell that after every milestone, you get some more experience, right? Just a little bit more. And if you really want to know what the cap is for how many you can go, if you hit P, you bring yourself up the Adventure Compendium, the same place where you find your favor. You go to Wilderness, and then you find the one you want. So, Searing High, or not Searing High, so Waterworks has a maximum of 400. Which means that I can only get experience for up to 400 kills, and then there's nothing else. And you'll have finished the Waterworks. So, we won't probably do the Slayer stuff here, but I mainly wanted to point out the rare encounters. So,
strong smell of sewage permeates the
we're going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm going to show you guys where some of these guys are located. So, you're back in this area. This is nothing, right? And then, of course, you have this way and this way, right? Now, if you recall, this is the way to the first part of the first, I guess, two parts of the Waterworks Clan Gnashtooth quest line, and then you got to go over this way for the second part. We're going to check this upper path here first. So, as I'm sure you've seen several times, we're going to do this. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that there are several areas in which certain ones can spawn. So, this one we're coming up to only spawns in one area. So it only spawns in one area. Also, for the record, I am using level 4 hirelings to better represent the actual level you'd be at when doing the Waterworks. So, this first area here is where Dulak should spawn, which is a troglodyte, if I recall correctly. He is not in here, so we will have to come back, and I'll show you a clip of him being in here, because obviously, with it being random, I might have to run it several times. But this area is right where he is located. So, that is where the first name is. So now we're going to continue on down here. And we're going to go ahead and kill all the kobolds. Let's do the thing we do. Okay. So, the next place we have a name for is the Shaman Yaili. So, you'll see that right over here, there's a little area. You can actually swim under here. And this is location 2 of Shaman Yaili. If he does not spawn here, he might spawn in a different area. It does not look like he's here. So, that is 0 for 2 on finding some of these guys for us. But that is okay, because obviously we can just continue checking all the areas and going from there. And I'll show you, if I end up getting a clip, I'm sure you'll see a clip, but I'll show you guys what it looks like if he does spawn over there. I don't know why I bother, like, backing up. I'm level 10. These guys are, like, level nothing. So, as we come up here, you're going to see we're at another thing. Just going to kill these guys. Okay. So now, we're going to come up on the next place where you could possibly get Shaman Yaeli. So, there's no enemies down that way, it seems. You'll see that your spot hidden has gone off. At least for me, it has. So you're going to search. Luckily, I have enough. I'm going to open this door. And we're going to see there is no Shaman Yaeli. I will show another clip of them being in here. I will do this 1,000 times if it means getting a clip for you guys. So, that is the second place where Shaman Yaeli could spawn, is right behind that door. The next is right in here. If it wasn't suspicious enough that there's just this area with a oh so obvious secret door, this is where Ekru would spawn. Ekru is a spider, I believe. Spider boss. So Ekru's a little spider boss. And then obviously up here we have Guard Temper. So that's where you can get the regular of the... That's where you can repeat the Waterworks quest. I'm not going to. Yada, yada, yada. So, with that being the case, we didn't get any of our... we didn't get any of our names the first time around, right? So, a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world, right? If you did want the experience so bad... You can literally leave this, go back in, and it'll reset. So once it's been reset, you can do it again, find where they are, so on and so forth. So now what I'm doing is I'm running myself back to the beginning, and this is just a general pathway system. We are then going to go over here, and we're going to go through the longer path-ish. So, we're going to start it off right through here after we get through this door. And now we're in this big room, right? We're going to kill these kobolds in here because obviously nobody likes them. Good job getting all that hate, Mallorin. Proud of you. Cool. That's what clerics are for, right? So, you'll see that you have this area. They obviously want you to cross over here. But, this is where our wisdom rune comes in handy. You're actually going to jump down here. And you're going to go through this area. Now, this is where the Shaman Har is. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm so wrong. This is where Crumble is, which I believe is a rust monster. But you'll see that there's this rune here. And you need a wisdom rune to use it. So, what we're going to do is you're going to click on it. You'll click the use thing for your cleric, because your cleric has that. And look. Crumble has spawned. So there's Crumble. We're going to kill him. And that was it. That was actually the last one we needed, it looks like. So, perfect. Too high level for this dungeon to get a Mimic. I guess there's also some Mimic event going on right now. Not too sure about it. But that'd be an interesting thing. So, that is where Crumble is. Now, Crumble, that's the only place Crumble can spawn. So, if he doesn't appear... You're not going to get him. I think it's just more kobolds in there, if I recall correctly. So, that's where Crumble is. Now, we're going to move on to actually Shaman Har. So, Shaman Har, which is a fun thing to say, might I add. is just another Kobold Shaman, but you'll see that as we go up here, there's a hidden door. This hidden door is where Shaman Har is one of the locations. He has 2 locations. So if he's in here, we get it. But it does not look like he is in. So, Shaman Har is not in there. I guess I also should be showing the map, right? This is where Crumble is, right? Crumble, this is where Duloc is. It doesn't show the waterway area because it's a secret area, but down over here is where Shaman Yili is. Shaman Yili can also be down this way too, and then Ekru would be past this area over here. So we go over here, we go up, right? We're gonna run into some enemies up here, and there's about, I guess, according to the wiki, there's about 55 enemies in here per reset. So you have a maximum of 400 you can kill, which means that theoretically, if you did this 8 times, if you went out and then reset this 8 times, you could get max Slayer. So in here, right, we're gonna come over here, and in here there's just a shrine, but you'll see that my spot hidden is going off. It's because right here there is a secret door. So you're gonna open this up. There is Shaman Har. Just a little Kobold Shaman, pretty straightforward and easy, so that's fine. Now that's Shaman Har. Obviously, like I said, Shaman Har can also be found in that other location too, behind that other secret door. But, which is another reason why you want people who have secret door stuff, because you're going to want to get behind that. So now you're going to come over here, you're going to see that there's some Black Widows. And so this is where you are going to need your intelligence, right? Now, I don't think I have the intelligence for it. I'm almost certain I don't. But we're going to take a guess. Now, Malaran might not have the intelligence. I would doubt they do. But they do. So, if you really wanted to, so yeah, so if you really wanted to, you could have Malaran, which is the level 4 cleric hireling, come in here, and they apparently have enough intelligence and wisdom to open both runes. So, if that's what you wanted to do, probably your best bet, unless of course you were proficient in both those stats. So here is Narkill is the name of this guy. I think he's a troll.
The smell of rotten flesh.
But there's nobody in here. So, because there's nobody in here, we just get Slayer stuff. But there would be a name in this room. Obviously, at this point, I will probably put in a clip showing off that. Showing off that there is a name in here, and you'll get his chest and everything like that. So, then Narkill, that's the only place Narkill can spawn. So there's only 3 rare encounters in here that spawn in different areas. But and the other ones are specific to only their one areas. The ones behind the runes are the only areas, and then Duloc, that guy, that like troglodyte in the first one, is also specific to that area. So I kill these kobolds, right? Because obviously we're also getting slayers, so try to kill everything you can. This door also opens as you start killing them, so there's that. But there's nothing in here. There's literally nothing. What you're going to want to do, though, is come over here. And this is the second place that you can find Ekru. That guy right there. So Ekru is the spider. Spider recluse. And there's that. So that is the last place where you can find the Waterworks rare encounters. And obviously over here you have the next place to go to for Waterworks is right over here. So this is essentially Waterworks. Now, for it being a wilderness area, right? Wilderness areas are usually pretty open, pretty widely open. I mean, much like if you were in Korthos before you were, you know, out here, obviously. Korthos Island is very huge in its wilderness area, but it is not specifically for, it's not specifically for, you know, like a small little area. Like, it's a big island that you're going across, and there's a lot of twists and turns and so on and so forth. But specifically, if you're looking for something that's pretty contained and gets you some decent experience for being level 4, this is nice. Especially if you were able to get yourself like a experience elixir or something through your daily rolls. Definitely very good. And then if you ever wanted to reset this, you would then recall out of the dungeon. And then once you have recalled out of the dungeon, you know, your hireling will leave you. You'll be sad forever. But then you'll just go ahead and go back in here. And you'll see this. You see it says the adventure is currently active. You're going to go ahead and hit this reset. And then you'll click Waterworks again. And you'll see that it is no longer active. Which means you can go in there again. Do it all over again. So that is essentially the biggest way to do it. Like I said, there's an approximate 55 monster, like, creatures all throughout the Waterworks. And what you'll do is, if you want max slayers, you can just go out, right, reset it, go out, reset it. Once you've gotten all the rare encounters, the rare encounters will still give you experience, but it's at a reduced rate because you've already found them and have already killed them. So that is pretty much that. So yeah, obviously you can. I'm not going to go through and do the entirety of the slayers on camera because that's going to be a long time. But you know, who knows? But I'm happy to bring you guys this wilderness stuff because this is probably something that isn't really talked about a lot in DDO guides. I'm sure there's tons of them out there, but I haven't found any because I really haven't looked. But I'm sure there's tons of them out there, but the wilderness is great for free-to-play people, right? Now, there's some wilderness areas that are blocked off by certain what do you call them? Adventure packs. And so you're going to want to make sure to be able to, if it's a certain adventure, like wilderness area that you want to go into, you're going to need to make sure that you have the correct adventure pack for it. For instance, you have the Salt Marsh here, which I'm sure came out with that recent expansion, Secrets of the Salt Marsh. You also have the Land of Barovia, which is, I believe, the vampire one that I can't remember the name of to save my life. I've completely forgotten it now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so a decent amount of these are, in fact, specific to certain levels, right? They have their own levels, so obviously you're going to want to know what a wilderness is right around your area. They are a little grindy, though, obviously. You can tell that some of these, while the Waterworks only is 400, Searing Heights, Korthos are both 750 slayers, which is quite a lot. You're going to be resetting a lot of times. They also have many more. They have these explorers, which I'll go over in the next one we do, and then they also have rare encounters, right? So you've got the rare encounters, you've got the explorers, and you've got this. As I was saying before, Waterworks is the only one without explorers, so that's that. But yeah, so something that definitely you're able to get a lot of just a lot of good experience from. It also, all these things drop chests too, so if you needed platinum to buy anything, that's just a more way to get more chests. Obviously, it's not the way to level. I highly suggest doing dungeons that you're familiar with and possibly on Elite, and trying to even repeating Elite dungeons maybe twice a day, right? Is enough for you to get some pretty decent experience and get yourself to a higher level. But obviously, do what you're most comfortable with. And if a wilderness area with, a grind to just literally kill some enemies and find some special stuff is more up your alley, the wilderness areas are there for you. But if you'd prefer to just go in and do a quick 20-minute dungeon, then that also could be the case. It's just normally dungeons are more, well, I shouldn't say they're more. Forget what I was going to say about it. I pretty much was going to say, okay, if you want something more open world, kill things in an open world area, wildernesses are for you. You want more dungeon specific leveling, obviously 2 dungeons, because that's going to be better. But I figured I'd just give this guide to you guys so that way you knew that dungeons were not the only thing you could do to level your character in Dungeons and Dragons Online. You're certainly not killing any dragons this early on. So you might as well get comfortable with dungeons and with wilderness areas to kind of get you a better idea. It does also help with kind of learning your class too. If you're trying to figure out certain builds or something like this, and instead of going into a dungeon and having the opportunity of failing, you just go into a normal wilderness, and then just killing stuff is a requirement. You can just do slayers. I don't know, something to pass the time, I guess. But thank you all so much for watching. I do certainly appreciate your support, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I try to bring these out to you guys. I know we've been doing a lot of stuff in in regards to my playthroughs, which, if you guys are enjoying that, thank you so much. I like playing those games, and I like doing little playthroughs of stuff. But I do still want to keep people informed on on ways to level, ways to better your character in DDO, while still being absolutely free to play. And that's the goal from that point on. So, if you guys do enjoy this, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. I'd be more than happy to continue making stuff like this, and to be honest, I might be continuing this series forward with just myself until my stepbrother's, schedule clears up a little bit, but we'll see. But anyway, thank you so much. Make sure to drink your water, eat your vegetables, and don't be a dick. I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right. Nerd out.